It is 6:01 on your Thursday morning. Good morning to you, Kentuckiana. Thanks for starting your morning with us here on WHAS11 and on WHAS11 Plus. I'm Jim Stratman. As I said, Grace out at the Expo Center this morning as the 121st Kentucky State Fair kicks off today. We'll be joining her a little bit later on. But first, we want to get out to meteorologist Matt Breland, who has a look at that first fair forecast. Matt, and it looks like it's going to be a hot one.
It is certainly going to be warm, Jim. Yeah, we are entering a hot and dry pattern as we head into the next upcoming days. And this is all the beginning of it. Temperatures in the mid-70s for us right now, but notice the dew point temperature at 71. So we're just 4 degrees shy of seeing the air close to that dew point. So that means that there is a lot of that muggy feeling this morning. So keep that in mind headed out your doors this morning. It's going to be a very humid start across Kentuckiana. Temperatures are still ranging into the upper 60s and the lower 70s. And headed out to school this morning, a few passing clouds to start off the first few hours of the commute. Temperatures into the mid-70s. Later on today, I'm expecting more sunshine, but temperatures will be increasing steadily into those lower 90s, and we are going to see some small chances for some showers for folks closer towards our southern counties. But as of right now, satellite and radar keeping us quiet and dry across Kentuckiana. As we head later on into our day, we are going to see some small chances for some isolated showers developing for you folks closer towards Elizabethtown, Litchfield, and near Bardstown. The rest of the morning, we'll see these clouds break apart. Our afternoon starts off sunny and quiet, and by 3 p.m., that's whenever a few of those isolated showers will be possible for our southern counties. Later into the evening, they'll be fading away, and our overnight hours will be staying quiet and dry. We'll start our Friday morning off with lots of sunshine. Those details coming up here in just a bit, but here's a quick check on traffic this morning. So far, we're looking good to go on all of the major interstates and roadways across the Louisville Metro. There's nothing really holding us up this morning. Everything's looking good to go. If we've got any slow spots, we'll have them for you right here. Jim?
This community crisis demands a community solution. We must work together during this time. Together, all of us. Parents, schools, law enforcement, the city, to find solutions and be able to ensure that every resident has an opportunity to weigh in, because the future of our children, the safety of our children, is now relying upon this.
That is JCPS Superintendent Dr. Brian Yearwood's remarks following a shooting yesterday morning that killed a mother who was walking her daughter to a bus stop. The buses rolled again yesterday afternoon at 10th and Chestnut where that shooting happened. Kids there met with a huge police presence and employees of city government to greet them. A few hours earlier at a news conference, one resident showed up asking the chief of police some hard questions, interrupting him during that news conference. It was pretty tense give and take. WHAS 11's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Emma Gefter begin our coverage this morning.
It's depressing that we got to keep losing people to gun violence.
2 shootings in 1 week near the same West Louisville bus stop, 10th and Chestnut.
3 shots fired at the bus stop, 1 person on the ground.
Female shot in the chest, back, in front of the library.
But this one is deadly. A mother shot and killed while walking with a little girl, a student, to the bus stop.
I can't even imagine how her daughter feels right now. She watched her mother get gunned down while she's screaming from a bus window.
Here are pictures released by LMPD of the suspect, video taken from a school bus camera. This morning, though, was the first time officers hadn't been at the bus stop since the shooting last Wednesday.
The officers made a decision today. Clearly, I wish they had been there. They made the decision based on the fact that that conflict last week, we had already had one of the people involved. We thought that conflict was over with. And
then at a news conference with the mayor and JCPS superintendent, Juanisha Saunders interrupts the chief.
I'm trying to figure out what are you going to do as LMPD to come and really come in the community and not just come to police us, but to come and protect us. That's what I'm saying.
You have a very valid point. There is a gap. There is a gap of communication both on the enforcement side and the pre-enforcement side. Okay. There's clearly a gap that we need to fill, and we need more ways to do that.
Kids got off the bus at the same area where the attack happened. Metro Police there in force.
Yeah, have a good day, good people. Bye. Have a good day. Love, man, love.
Members with the city's Office of Violence Prevention show up to be a comforting presence for parents and students at a bus stop that now holds a lot of bad memories. At 10th and Chestnut, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
The mayor said that there are over 40,000 school bus stops from morning to afternoon in Louisville, and it's impossible for police to be at all of them. But Metro Police are expected to be back out around those specific bus stops later on this morning. And we have heard from you all in the last 24 hours. Lots of questions being asked about how to address this type of violence. That's an ongoing discussion here in Louisville. And this morning, Louisville Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins is hosting a news conference with other community members to talk about having more police at bus stops and how parents and guardians can help keep their kids safe. That news conference takes place at 9 o'clock this morning at the Village West bus stop at 10th and Chestnut Street. We're going to be there, and we're going to be streaming it live on WHAS11 Plus. You can watch it on the free app. We do have an update for you on the very first shooting near the bus stop at 10th and Chestnut. It happened last week on the first day of school. Police say they've now arrested a second teenager in connection to that shooting. On August 7th, police say those teenagers opened fire in front of dozens of students near that 10th and Chestnut Street bus stop. 2 days later, they arrested a 15-year-old, charged him now with 33 cases of wanton endangerment and possession of a handgun by a minor. A woman who lives in that area says that she saw the teenager fire those shots on the first day of school.
There's another shooting, and it's not good. I was coming back from taking my son to school, and I seen a person who had a gun right out in midday while there were students around the buses. Everything is going as normal.
The second teenager arrested is now also charged with 33 counts of wanton endangerment and possession of a handgun by a minor, second offense. Well, new this morning, one man is dead and the alleged shooter is in custody after a standoff with police. The LMPD says they were called out to the 3000 block of Middale Lane next to Klondike Lane Elementary School for a shooting around 11:30 last night. They said that they found a man in critical condition. He was taken to University Hospital, where police say he died overnight. The suspect barricaded himself inside his apartment, but eventually came out. No one else was injured, and the LMPD says all parties are accounted for. Charges are still pending for that suspect. And another deadly shooting last night, this time over in the Chickasaw neighborhood. The LMPD says officers found a woman who was shot at 41st and Broadway around 9 o'clock. She was taken to U of L Hospital, where she later died. There are no suspects at this time. If you have any information, though, you're asked to call the anonymous tip line, 574-LMPD. In just a couple of hours, guests are going to begin flooding into the Kentucky Expo Center as we kick off the 121st Kentucky State Fair. It is a big day for the Commonwealth. It is a big day for us here on GMK. That's why we sent Grace out this morning. She's live in the West Wing taking a look at all the action going on. Grace, you've been getting a live look at cows and farmers, everything that the State Fair has to offer at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, Jim, this is late in the day for some of these folks. They've been out here for hours taking care of the livestock here. And it is just such an important reminder that this is really a huge part of the fair. This is why we are here. This show, especially that dairy cattle show, is huge for some of our farmers all around the state. And we want to shout them out because they do incredible work and they're an incredible part of Kentucky. We hope that you get the chance to visit them when the gates to the State Fair open up here in just about an hour. 7 o'clock is when those gates open this morning, and you can stay until 10 p.m. Keep in mind, Thrillville does not open until 3 this afternoon, and the inside areas of the fair, like here in the livestock area, those do close at 9. Tickets are $12, and if you buy them in advance, parking is included. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay to park on site. Kids 5 and under are free. And we do have a reminder, though, for you for those kids and the fair's minor policy. Friday through Sunday, fairgoers under 18 have to be accompanied by a parent or guardian, 21 or over, all day long. Monday through Thursday, the same rule applies after 6 p.m. The fair does say that they are going to be checking IDs at the gate, so that is something to remember to bring with you when you come out to the Kentucky State Fair. And you're going to want to come out to the Kentucky State Fair. 121 years of tradition. It's an amazing thing to be a part of. We have been talking to some amazing folks so far this morning, and we're not going anywhere. We got another hour of talking to some folks here in the West Wing type area, and then we're going to head out to the commodity breakfast to kick things off. So a lot more fun. Stick around. Jim?
Looking forward to it, Grace. Thank you very much. And as you head out to the Kentucky State Fair, you're going to want a guide to get you through all the events, all the activities going on throughout the fair's week. You can get that guide by simply texting FAIR to the number you see on your screen, 502-582-7290. We're going to send that directly to your phone.